You know how you like lay down to go to sleep, and then you have like all of these thoughts going through your head and all this mess. It's kind of like where I am. So I thought, I'm going to get up and I'm going to talk this mess out. Um, Today was kind of a weird day. Kind of a busy day. Now, although I'm back in this house and I bought a new bed because I had my other one hauled off. So, uh, uh yeah, I really don't think this mattress is as good as my first one or my other one, but I definitely prefer the bed. It feels so nice. Um, New blankets, everything. I went with the tree design, right? And I have my wool blanket, which is very, very nice. It's an authentic wool. So, oh, I have not talked on this or posted a video in a really long time, especially since going to Switzerland. Uh, I was up for 30 something hours trying to get this place spotless, and I did before leaving. I got sick on the way there. I don't know why. I threw up, so I guess I must have been getting sick before. Maybe, I guess, right? So then I progressively got sick to the point that by the time that I made it to London, I could feel it in my bones. When I tell you that it was so excruciating, like my nerves, my muscles, my bones hurt so bad that I am not sure. I actually was so distracted by how much pain I was in that I forgot I was in fucking London. London is like a blip on the map to me because the whole time I was feeling this way in my body, and then I got this crushing fucking headache, and then going from Switzerland where it's so quiet to London where it is fucking loud. Like, I almost, in a room full of people waiting for this plane, told everyone to shut the fuck up. Like, I was so bothered by the noise, how much pain I was in, and not being able to like stop this. And then the flight was awful. It was so awful. Like, I cried twice because I just felt like my head was going to fucking explode. My ears are still not right. They are trying to like I guess like open up. I've noticed whenever I've like blown my nose or whatever, like I can feel it in my ears. I am extremely congested. I am taking, you can hear my voice is different. I am taking nothing except for the guaifenesin, like the ingredient to like loosen up the stuff. And because I bought like the Theraflu stuff, and for whatever reason it just gave me really bad heartburn, and I was just like, oh, I can't deal with that. But I did find my heartburn medicine, so maybe I can take it as long as I take that first. But yeah, I just have not been doing well. I sweat super duper easily. Like, I sweated all through like moving the stuff back in here, and I really think that the only reason I'm here is because I just was not feeling good. Like, I was feeling so bad. Like, I just needed rest. I needed a bed. I needed like the time that I was giving myself. Like, I stayed in Atlanta for 3 days because I still wasn't feeling good. Like, so I thought that would be enough time for me to, like, whatever. But here I am, like, what's today's date? The 18th. And this, I have been sick since the 1st. And this has not gotten any better. Yesterday, whenever I was trying to put my scooter together, it was so hot. And just from like being bent over and like doing whatever I was doing, I honestly, I can't even describe it. It's like your energy is so depleted that, like, it is the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing, right? This is very weird to me. It's weird for how long I'm not feeling well. The way I've not been feeling well, and how it just feels like I'm constantly going through fevers, and like, it's just weird, okay? Um, so yeah, I haven't, like, recorded anything, talked about anything really. I still keep up with my, like, observations and frequency runs and the day to day for whatever I'm observing and whatnot in real time, like I said, so that people can see this is exactly what I watch. This is exactly what I'm listening to. This is exactly what I'm doing. This is exactly what I'm thinking. This is exactly what I'm feeling. And this is the result. What shows up in the sky. No sooner than I had posted that, I took that picture in the sky. Right? Right? And I have always been of the mindset you cannot walk into an advanced class in the middle of it and think that you're going to understand any of it, right? You got to pay attention, and you've got to do it over a period of time. You are not just going to randomly walk in or stumble onto something that is extremely complex and then be able to make a discerning decision of whether what I am showing you is important or not, or relevant or not, or this or that or not. Okay? I've been doing this a very long time. That's why I can look at a scooter and I have no fucking idea. Okay? I don't know shit about scooters or motorcycle or anything like that, right? Like, I can open it up and I can watch a few YouTube videos and try and do what, but I can't look at it immediately and be like, that's out of place. That goes here. That's blah, 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 blah. Right? I can't do that with that. That's not what I do, right? That's not my thing, right? But I can walk out here at 5 a.m. in the morning and tell you when a frequency is off, and I can record it, and you can hear everything in the undertones if you listen with earbuds or if you have equipment. There's people who have equipment. They are capable of extracting those things. So, that I can. I can with anything that I post on it, with any frequency shit. Like, I'm the lady. I know. Okay? I have been doing this for so long, I can walk into any environment and tell you what's what, right? Like, it doesn't matter. I can go to another country and do it, right? Just like I can go to another country, sit on a train while everyone is talking in another fucking language, and it translate out into English when it's played back. People really, it benefits less than well intentioned people, for people to be ignorant of things that are extremely powerful, right? It benefits them. I don't view the world the way that an average person would, or regular people, right? I'm never going to be the person that just says, well, it was my job, right? Like, I'm never going to use my job as an excuse to hurt others. I'm never going to. There are just certain things, there are certain lines that I absolutely cannot cross, that I absolutely refuse to cross, that I will not cross, right? And that comes from my life, right? That comes from my experiences. Right? And I used to be so delusional about a lot of things. I did, right? I was delusional. I was delusional when I was a child and lived in an extremely horrible environment and believed that while this was my situation right now, the rest of the world, at some point, I had decided that the rest of the world did not operate this way, and it was only X amount of time before I was able to be free in the world and it would operate the way that it was supposed to, right? The way that they said that it did. Boy, was I delusional, right? And I thought that if I just did everything right and I did what they said that I should do, right? But what the good people say you should do and be a good person and do X, Y, and Z, that all is fine and well. That's not true. That's delusional, right? Because in an ideal world, in a perfect world, in a fair world, in a just world, sure, right? But you're dealing with lots of individuals who make individual decisions for many others, right? Without having to face, or without them believing that they have to face consequence for those decisions or actions, or that they're not directly affected themselves, right? Now, that is their delusion. Because they'll never be able to connect the dots of how their own actions led to XYZ, maybe getting run over or whatever, right? But it's all connected, right? But I'll tell you what I'm not delusional about. I am not delusional that two toddlers broke the laws of physics and teleported to the other side of a fucking mountain. I'm not delusional. And that they were found by search and rescue sitting on a fucking rock formation on the other side of a fucking mountain, shoeless. Right? And that was after I told them there's absolutely no way that they could have gone this way. I would have heard them, blah, blah, blah. And they wanted to fucking argue with me. Well, guess what? Where did they find them? On the other side of a fucking mountain. Right? Broke the fucking laws of physics. Not a sound to be heard. Just poof. Fucking disappeared. Right? Now, I'm not delusional about that. And I'm not delusional about the video that I took of the little gray alien beep booping in my backyard whenever I was observing one of my paintings. I'm not delusional about that. Somebody else can back that up. I'm also not delusional about the time that I was talking about these events with someone that I was training at work across from a cow pasture when a fucking spaceship shows up in the fucking sky, an alien, and then I have him texting me the next night that he's hearing whispering and stuff, like in his room. Not delusional about that, right? That was a real experience with others, okay? Right? All of the shit that I talk about, all the shit that I work on, all the shit that I do is because of my own experiences. It is not some delusional made up shit. It is not some shit that I just fucking imagine. It is not some shit that I'm only aware of. No, it's none of that. It's none of that, right? It's none of that. Now, maybe some people don't have the eyes to see or the ears to hear, right, what I am showing them. But I have them, and that's all that matters, right? Because just like I cannot look at a fucking scooter because I do not know shit about a fucking scooter, right? That is not my area of proficiency. I am not going to be able to just fucking look at it and tell you what the fuck is on. I'm not, right? So I wouldn't expect anyone to just walk in and think that they're going to get what the fuck I'm doing, right? I get that. I do. I thoroughly get that. And at one time, I thought, oh my fucking God, right? Like, I thought at the height of all this shit, because that's not even all of it, okay? Like, I thought, I cannot even get anyone to listen or give a fuck about shit that is actually common in the world, right? Like, children growing up in abusive homes is common, right? I can't even get fucking people to believe that some fucking bastard and his fucking, whatever, like, did XYZ. I can't even fucking, and now this shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. You must know. You must know. My first instinct was get the fuck out of here. And my other instinct was, or my other thought was, I am going to be silent forever or mute or whatever, right? Or I'm going to have to be because I just cannot talk about this stuff and expect people to like, right? As if I didn't already feel different enough and separate from society enough from my like abnormally awful like childhood, right? And the issues that I've had stem from that. Now there's this shit. So at some point I had decided, well, I was quiet for a really long time. I was many years after all of that. And then at some point, I was just like, it's the fucking truth. Like, what the fuck? I don't care, right? So now I use this to keep up with my work. I use YouTube to keep up with my work. But it is also a way for me to just be open, honest, and authentic. These are real events. These are real things in your fucking world. These are real things that happen in your world. This is some crazy shit, right? If you believe in a God, let's say you believe in a God, right? Like you think that you're going in front of a God and you're going to have some judgment. And let's just say that there's a whole crowd of people around you, right? Right. Are you not going to tell the truth because you're worried about what these people think about the truth, right? Or are you going to speak the fucking truth because it's the fucking truth, right? So that's how I look at it. I'm like, it's the fucking truth. Like, what the fuck do you want from me? Like, I'm not going to apologize for the fucking truth, right? And I'm not going to censor it either to make other people delusionally comfortable. Like, the delusion never fucking helped me, okay? Like, the delusion is not sustainable, right? Eventually, reality is going to knock your ass sideways enough to where you have no choice but to look at reality for what it is and go from there, right? No water down, no blah, 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 right? And the reality is that this space is multidimensional. There is a lot of science to your space. And in real life, that makes shit very tricky. Okay? I've watched it. I have been a part of it. Like, I understand it, right? So it really, really, really gets under my fucking skin whenever. Imagine, if you will, what can you do in your dreams, right? When you're asleep, you can do anything in your dreams. You can change the dream. You can, like, just have a thought and say, I'm gonna fly, and you fly, or blah blah blah. Like, if you're advanced in your sleep like that, right? Sometimes I assume that what is normal or whatever, and that's not the case for everyone, right? Some people don't even dream. I've heard some people say, which is strange to me, right? But now imagine that me right now, like, I'm awake, but this place is also just like a dream, right? You can command things, or you can just be the passive observer in it, or you can be in control of it, right? It is basically like the fucking Matrix, right? You're gonna have these fucking NPC people approach you to try and get you to do XYZ a certain way, and blah 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 blah, and then that's when you have to put your foot down and be like, fuck off. No, I run this show, you do not. Right? Because dimensionally, that's what you're really fucking dealing with. Facts. Right? I could pull, I'm sure, like some ancient text somewhere that speaks of something similar, I'm sure, right? But this is the most plain and blatant way for me to describe that, right? And just like people can mysteriously disappear, fucking teleport to other fucking areas. Imagine, just imagine, right? That you're dilly-dallying here, but the whole time you're somewhere else and you're just fucking hidden in some layer just right outside of your original reality. Right? Can you wrap your mind around it? I bet it would be easier for you to wrap your mind around it if you'd experienced this, right? It is not hard for me to comprehend. It is not hard for me to understand because I have experienced it, right? So then at which point, right? Who the fuck do you think I should like? Do you think I'm gonna listen to anybody? Mm-mm. No. 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 If you don't have the adequate experience that I do, equivalent or more, then no. I don't care. You are in no position to tell me what to do, what to not do, what to think, what to not do. No, it doesn't work that way. Right? Don't work that way. And I will always let you know, right? I have no problem saying, this is not my area of expertise. No problem saying that. I have no problem saying, oh, I was wrong, I am so sorry. I have no problem saying that. I have no problem saying, oh, you know what? This was me, and I hurt you in this way, or I blah, blah, blah. I apologize, right? And I mean it, right? And I mean it. I have no problem with these things. But these are like basic things that humanity still can't do. I can hear it. Listen, you may ask me, what is your fucking problem, right? What is your fucking problem with just like going along to get along or blah 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 blah? I'm glad you fucking asked, right? Uh, there is something so fucking nefarious about the way I grew up, right? There's something so fucking nefarious about it. And then never having anyone to come and fucking rescue you from it. There's just something, it just creates a whole other whatever, yeah. And there's just something else about doing everything by the book, the way they said, the way that you should, and doing right by others and turning the other cheek. Right? There's just only to watch people's evil on like pure display and take advantage of it, right? And there's just something, there's just something so nefarious about like pouring all of your time and energy into things that just are a fucking waste, right? It's been my whole life, right? Like, we never start things or pour energy into things that we think are gonna fail. That's no one ever does that, right? No one ever does that, right? But it happens. And when it happens, like not once, but twice, and then more than that, on top of like this other shit. And then you really pay attention and you realize, oh shit, you were never supposed to like, it's just this way, right? It's someone's clever con. There's just something I just can't fucking, you can't give a fuck, right? There just comes a time where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you run out of you run out of something, right? Because there wasn't a balance in it, right? There wasn't a balance in it. So while you're giving too much good, these people are taking advantage of it, taking it out of you. And then there's just nothing left. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm tired. There's just nothing left. You can't make parasites happy. You can't. No matter what you do, no matter how much you feed them, you can't make them happy. And they don't want you healthy. So yeah, that's kind of how I see the world, the system, the way it's set up, all of it, right? Like, what am I gonna do? I lived miserable through my childhood. It was beyond miserable. I don't have a word for it, right? But I survived it. I got a short respite from it before there was more shit on top of it, right? And then more shit on top of that. And then this crazy shit. It was just partly probably my fault, to be honest. Probably had something to do with the sciences. Yeah, probably. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I'm so sick, why I'm having a hard time getting better. I don't know what I want to do with this living situation. I really just don't think I want to be here anymore. I may hire somebody to come in and just dump all of this shit or donate it. One of the two. Every single thing. Because I don't care. You cannot lose what I have lost and give one iota of a fuck about this shit. No, no. Because this shit doesn't replace innocence. It doesn't give me back my childhood. It doesn't take away bruises and starvation and trauma. It doesn't. It doesn't compensate for those things, right? Um, doesn't compensate for children, doesn't compensate for anything. It doesn't mean anything, right? And when I took everything from the cabin and donated it, and I stood amongst the rubble of a burden that was too big and heavy for me to keep trying to carry on my own, that's exactly what I thought to myself. This means absolutely nothing. So, for a woman that has lost a lot of actual valuable things, right? The things that really fucking matter. I actually didn't lose them, they were fucking stolen from me, right? All because of someone else's desire, because of someone else's whatever, right? But it was all at my expense. Right? See, when that's happened to you, the tolerance for no matter where the fuck it comes from. I don't give a shit if it's a fucking landlord. I don't give a shit. It's one of these little shitheads at one of these fucking jobs, right? I don't give a shit, right? In the bigger scheme of things, none of those things actually fucking matter, right? Isn't that what people say all the time, right? Well, after a disaster, whenever, at least we have each other, right? Rich people are notorious for it, right? Because they know they can just replace the shit. Because they're not actually losing anything of actual value, right? Yeah, I am one of those people that they talk about, right? The man with nothing to lose. Because I already fucking lost it all, right? So now none of it means any fucking thing. So what does that fucking say? I mean, what the fuck am I still doing here? Like, as far as I'm concerned, these lessons are over. Right? Right? And there's something so personal, right? When you directly speak to people on this level than people who get on the internet and make these little curated whatevers and these little fucking speeches, and you know what they all the pretentious do, right? It isn't coming from a real place, right? Because trust me, anybody who's talking about this, they're tired. I'm tired, right? I don't have the energy to fucking put on a fucking, grab my monkey symbols for anyone. I don't. I don't. I don't have that luxury. There is nothing delusional or deluded in my world that, like, allows me to act in such a way, to present myself in such a way, to whatever in such a way. I just don't, right? And I don't owe it to anyone to do that, right? That was all Rob for me, okay? Like, whatever, like, energy I would have had to do those sort of things and engage in those sort of antics, right? Completely robbed, right? Completely robbed. Uh, for the many days locked in a room and the many times I got the shit beat out of me, right? Right? And was, like, subjected to a grown predator, right? Like, yeah, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. I ain't got the pretend, fake, whatever. I ain't got it. I don't have the bend the knee. I ain't got it, right? I don't, you know, I don't have the you say jump and I say ah, I ain't got it, right? Somebody already, somebody already fucking drained me fucking dry. Yeah. So, as for this channel, what I do, this is my frequency bandwidth. This is my little nook in the void This is where I'm carving out my fucking frequency band, right? So I do want it as I do want it. Period. And you could say, well, this isn't Facebook or this isn't blah, blah, blah. I hate to tell you, and you probably don't know anything about coding, right? Right? I can tell you that they're all running on the same code with just little minor tweaks to the front of it, right? Which means it's all basically the same code. It's just laid out a little differently, right? Because they all want to be like one another, right? That's why YouTube does short form, because TikTok, right? And you got your little community posts because Facebook, right? Right? It's all the same fucking thing. It's all the same fucking thing. It's all the same ones fucking collecting the data. So, might as well give them something useful. Yes, maybe they can learn something along the way. That's what that's why I think about it. And like I said, it was brain rot, intentional fucking psyops, intentional all of this shit being broadcast 24 fucking 7. So I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents. Yeah. I went in the store today and forgot that I had Swiss money and almost gave the cashier foreign money. Almost. Paid the man for the work that he did on my bike, and I filled his gas tank with $50 since they were driving me and picking up my scooter. I think that's a good hauling payment. Right? But anyways, I just wanted to clarify those things, and I haven't talked on here in a long time, right? And I drank coffee a little bit late this evening, and yesterday I was anxious, and after recording what I recorded outside, and then coming in and sleeping and seeing what I saw in my dream, I can see why, right? And in fact, the frequency that I had on at the beginning of this video sounded exactly like what it sounded out there. Yeah. Yeah. I realize it may be threatening to some people for me to paint. Remember whenever I painted the mirror and then it poof showed up in the fucking sky, right? I realize that this is probably as crazy as me trying to absorb the information or absorb the events as they unfolded during my earlier experiences, right? I realize this. I understand this. Trust me. I understand it better than anyone. Yeah. Because I didn't have someone to show me these things or to, well, I guess that's debatable. Outside of what I learned in my sleep, right? But, anyways, right? The thing is there was no one, right? It's very strange to me that people want to, this is not our grandparents' generation, right? There's absolutely no reason to hush about real shit or try to sweep some shit under the rug, right? These are real things. If you do not fucking acknowledge, pay attention to, or deal with these real things, right? Then what the fuck? What? That is not the mentality that today's world needs. Today's world needs the, okay, this is happening, and sure, it's nuts, it's crazy, but it's happening, right? Just like everybody. Now, everybody wants to act like they're a professional about one, the gateway thing, and they have no fucking clue what they're doing. They're just jumping on a fucking trend. It's annoying, right? Just like everybody starts seeing the orbs and stuff in the sky, and then, oh, right? Like, and in the meantime, right? I'm the only person that knows shit about shit, right? There's a reason that I don't make my videos very flashy or the thumbnails get a whole lot of attention, right? Well, there's a reason for that. A big reason for that. I'm not making a novelty of important and serious shit, right? I'm not making a fucking circus show of delicate, important shit. I'm just gonna put my things out, and that's what it is. Those who find me, hopefully they find something useful. Hopefully they find something relatable. I believe I am a very fucking relatable person. You may not have like the weird experiences, or maybe you do have some weird experiences, right? Like maybe outside of that, like you don't, you know, maybe that's not the relatable that you may relate to me on, right? But I think I have a pretty good grasp of both ends of people, life, real world shit. When I speak, the real in people relate to that and understand that because it's real and because it's authentic, right? And it's because it can't be fucking manufactured because it came from a very real experience, very real place, right? You can't fake authenticity, period, right? People may not know the exact science behind like vibration or frequency, but they do know how they feel when they're around people. And they do know how they feel if they're a little more advanced, like when they listen to people or watch people or whatever, right? I can read a fucking text and tell you the tone behind it, right? But this is something that I do, right? Like the reason I can distinguish different frequencies is because I control my frequencies. For one, I know what they all sound like when people are screaming the sky is falling and this is apocalyptic. All right, like I can tell you exactly what it is because that's what I do. Okay, sound, frequency, vibration. That's what I do, and you actually feel. You can feel those changes. People can feel those changes. That's what they mean. Like, oh, their vibe is cool, right? Or I got a bad vibe from that person. Like blah blah blah, right? That vibration is audible. That is something that can be sharpened in your senses. So, anyways, I recorded a little video out there earlier after I got like upset or whatever, and posted the picture. Like, we got a severe thunderstorm warning, and I recorded the clip out, and I was like, "Oh, this is like tornado weather." And then it said something about CERN and something about me graduating with my nuclear degree, right? I probably won't post it. It was only like 30 seconds. But there was a lot of interesting things to occur today, especially from going outside, hearing that frequency, what was in it, and then coming in, laying back down, going back to sleep, and then dreaming the match to it. Okay. And the reason you could call it mapping if you want, mapping events in a day, who I meet, how it went, how I'm thinking, right? Like, or what's my thought process. It allows me to gauge my progress in self-awareness. It could be self-awareness that I'm working on, or uh, how am I responding to a difficult situation, blah, 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 right? The same exact way that somebody else with nefarious whatever would observe you. I'm my own lab rat, okay? I'm my own lab rat, all right? And that is just put on this channel, you know? Some people want to brain rot until they die, right? And the problem is that there's like this other shit, right? And that's why it's so important for me to share what I work on with others, because there is a lot more to it than what people have been led to believe or that they understand, right? Now, I'm not going to tell you that I'm talking to some fucking alien named like Zuborg or whatever, right? Like some of these fucking people, right? I don't care how crazy you think that I am. This shit comes from real, verifiable, like experiences, okay? That other people have fucking like, right? Like for the majority of it, yeah? Like yeah. So I don't care like how nuts you think I am. They're nuts. I think they're fucking nuts, right? Like whenever I see these videos talking about, oh my gosh, it's a whole thing, right? Like I've been entrenched with this shit for so long, right? Like I have never, never. These people, I don't know. Let them do what they do, right? Like I said, pick your flavor crazy, okay? Like, that's not the vibe. That's not the frequency band that I'm on. I don't know. I'm not talking to any, like, I see and know what I know. And yeah, but I don't know nothing about all that. I'm not like chatting with, I don't know, right? I'll tell you what I see. Like, and then sometimes I will turn my focus away from like all of that, and then I will try and tune into the vibration of whoever is observing me. And sometimes some of the stuff that I put on the post line is for them or whatnot, or whatever energy that I am picking up on, right? Because it's a good, like, fun little experiment. Am I hitting the mark, right? I mean, I may not blatantly say it, right? But if I can pick up on the vibration and then I can address it, and hopefully someone finds that helpful. And that's the little nugget of information that is probably the most important about my channel, right? And I go through cycles of where I work on different things. I'm never just doing one thing all the time. So even though I may be posting very heavily word wise right now, like, or like typing wise and whatnot, it could easily switch over. You've seen times where I've gone through with sound. I've worked on sound, right? Like it's different phases for different things. And then right now, like you hear me, I'm just not feeling very good. I'm just riding the whatever since I got back from Switzerland. That was a whole thing, right? And it did clear up. It's crazy how much it cleared up the frequency around. Like it's nuts. Like I'm not picking up nearly as much of the like garbage that I was before, which is very nice. So it is weird. It's like a cleanse of some sort, like a I don't know. So I'm still just kind of like it could take a long time to process a week, right? Because it's going to layer itself through a whole week for coming weeks. Believe it or not, that's how it works. It's like a time delay thing. So everything isn't immediate, right? Only man-made thinks that anything is immediate, right? Anything in the natural world, it's not immediate. Like there's a time and a process time and an unfold time. And we're going through the unfold time, and my head just feels like as stuffed as it was like on the flight back because it was really bad. It still feels like that. Like there's still, I feel it in my ears, everything. This is the roughest illness. The lighting makes my face not look as bad though. So there's that, right? Because my eyes look pretty bad underneath. They do, but not with the handy dandy beauty mirrors, right? Man. Anywho, I guess I've been on this thing for almost an hour. Uh, yeah. Just, that's just my little whatevers, right? But I like to be thorough and I like to put my thoughts on what I'm thinking and blah, blah. And I like for other people to see that, right? Because a lot of times it is much easier for people to observe someone else and have a clear mind about that, right? Than if someone were trying to, um, if I were just saying it to everyone and then them trying to like figure that out, right? Like, what does it look like, right? If someone can see what it looks like, what the process is, etc., then they can take what parts they would like and apply that in their own way and see how that helps them, right? I imagine people are bright enough to like pick up on patterns, have pattern recognition, right? And if nothing else, I just highly, highly recommend, at the very minimum, people controlling their frequency, like when they sleep. I promise it will change your world. You will think more clearly. You will, it'll open up a whole new world for you. Like people do not realize how bad the programming is for their brain that is currently on offer, right? Like news and garbage music that has no cohesive wave, none, right? And I'm not just talking about like in a single song. I'm talking about like all your shit needs to be in alignment. Your TV needs to align with your radio, needs to align with what you read. It needs to align like that's how specific I am with my science. Right? It's not a bunch of random like songs thrown together. No, no, no. This is if you run them all together, it's a whole other fucking sine wave. That specific, right? But unless I tell you that you're not going to know that. And some things I do choose to like keep to myself. But I will never ever put something out that I am not consuming myself. I will never ever uh I will never ever intentionally like display anything that is meant to hurt anyone, mislead anyone, or whatever, right? Like, this is what I am doing, this is what I am, blah blah blah, and uh it's safe for me, it's safe for you, right? I have no no ulterior whatevers, right? No one is paying me uh to do any of what I do, right? No one's doing that. No one's telling me to, and no one is involved in my shit. It is my shit. Period. Right? Because it was me dealing with this shit. Right? Alone. So, even though people may not understand why what I'm putting out is important right now, doesn't mean that they won't ever understand it. Right? So, anywho, it was a nice chat. 1 minute and 2 seconds in. I should probably get to bed. Hopefully that clears up anything and everything. Tomorrow is a new day. I took a melatonin because I really need to sleep. So yeah, we'll see what the evening holds.